Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the C podcast featuring Hex and Shin. As always, I am your host, Shogun Shun, and I am joined by my co-host, Hex Ginkgo. Okay, so Hex, I shared with you a picture that I saw on Twitter, in which I will include in the into the link dump. But it was a tier list for Kingdom Hearts games. And the reason that this is so important is primarily because of, I think both you and I can agree that this tier list is actually trash.
Very
it's
wrong.
Actually bad. I highly recommend people go to the link and check it out. But if you don't look at it, I will quickly explain what it was. So there are 4 categories. It was Holy Grail, Good, Okay, and Garbage. There are only 4 levels. And they had Kingdom Hearts 2 and 1 Final Mix as Holy Grail. Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts Recoded were good. I think Chain of Memories and Birth by Sleep are just okay. And then the garbage games are Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts Key, which is the mobile game, 358.5 Days, and I think Birth by Sleep Prologue or whatever it is.
0.2.
0.2, yeah. So, already, I'll just immediately say that Recoded is not good, and whoever has this opinion doesn't deserve to have opinions anymore, because it's actually bad. And,
honestly, I should have created another... I was thinking about creating another tier, and I totally forgot about it, because there are just straight-up bad games, but they don't fall into the last category. I don't know if you have it up, the actual tier list up on your screen yet.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, it doesn't really fall into the Nomura Y category, so we'll just put it under the Nomura Y category, and those are just straight up the bad games.
Okay.
Because there are some bad games.
Well, I mean, we have Busted as for our tier list.
Oh, right.
Because we have Holy Grail, Great, Good, Meh, and Busted. And then we have Nomura Y.
Okay, Busted will also, go as bad. Yeah. Because Busted, for me, I was thinking because there are actually technical issues that hold certain games back. So that'll be those games as well as the bad games.
Okay. All right. So let's start with... I
forgot I added Busted.
So on my screen here, I have the whole tier list. It's a little bit scrunched up because of, sizing and whatnot.
Yes.
But, again, to go over our tiers, we have Holy Grail, which is, pinnacle Kingdom Hearts experience, or can almost do no wrong. Great.
You'll always go back to it.
Yeah, you always go back to it. Great, it's a still pretty good game. It's not, the best, but it's still pretty good. Good, which is, okay, sure, not bad. Meh is, it's okay. You'll play it maybe once because it's a Kingdom Hearts game and then just never remember it ever again. And then Busted is just why? And Nomura Y is also...
pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. So...
I forgot one game.
Okay.
Shit.
We'll get... While you search for that, we'll start this off. Alright? So the first one is Kingdom Hearts Vanilla. Vanilla Kingdom Hearts. I would say... For me, I'd put it at good.
I think it's only good.
It's fun. It's fun the first time you play it, because it's oh, yeah, Kingdom Hearts, it's awesome, cool. And then it's oh, okay. My first Kingdom Hearts game was actually Kingdom Hearts 2, awkwardly.
The first one I ever... Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah, and then I went back to play Kingdom Hearts 1, and I was this is actual trash. Just control-wise. I'm this is so bad, and I thoroughly hate this.
It's really rough.
And I was no way. This is actually awful. Alright, so Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, which I believe difference between Vanilla and Final Mix is what? They add the optional bosses, right?
The optional bosses, some tweaks, more Keyblades. There's the 0 XP and if you start on beginner, you get like buffs.
Okay.
It's just like
I would
nothing
still
but
put this
good.
at good, because again,
I would put it in
lot
great.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
because it is such a big improvement. Like, Kingdom Hearts 1 is not my favorite game. But it is monumentally important because it is the first game. It is the progenitor of all of them. There aren't going to be a lot of greats, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah.
And if you ever go back and you play Kingdom Hearts 1, this is the version you're always going to go to. Like, if, at some point, you will have a good time playing this game. Even though it is that old jank.
I will split
It's
the
like-
difference with you on that one, just because, again, Kingdom Hearts 1 does not control well.
It does not.
Like, legitimately, it does not control well at all. And that's a pretty big factor. Like, sure, it adds a lot of quality of life stuff, but it's not enough for the main part of the game.
Yeah, and that's fair.
And it's a little rough. Alright, next is Chain of Memories, which was the Game Boy Advance version.
I actually put that one in great as well.
I never played Chain of Memories. So
Most people didn't.
Yeah, like, did it control similar to how Chain of Memories worked?
No, it was a 2D plane.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
actually, it's a 2D game. You're in a 3D area. Okay, no. Okay, it's not 3D. It's like Chrono Trigger in the movement.
Okay.
So you're a 2D sprite and you move around a little box arena.
Okay.
It controls really well. You don't have to fuss with a camera.
Okay.
Okay. It's
All right.
where
Honestly, the moment you said you didn't have to fuss with the camera, you already had me.
yeah,
Because
it's so
going
good
to Chain of
that.
Memories, I will say it's busted. Because fuck this game. Actually,
Yeah.
fuck Chain of Memories. Again,
It's-
solely based on how it controls.
I hate Rechain of
It's
Memories.
so bad. Like,
Okay,
it's
that's the last logo.
actually so unbelievably bad.
I put it in Discord for you.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see where you're.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, I
The
see
most
where you're.
recent
I
one.
thought we weren't gonna like talk about it, or at the very least, it was just gonna be like,
Oh, you haven't
we'll
played
just
that.
add it in later. I haven't.
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
it's-
not. Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna sound weird. I really like it. But
Okay. Well, we'll come
We'll-
back.
we'll get there.
We'll cross that bridge when
Yeah.
we get there. Let me add this in real quick. Gotta resize it, all that jazz. And, oh my
I
God.
tried to get the best quality,
Okay.
transparent versions as possible.
Yeah, and that was very much appreciated. Okay, but yeah, Chain of Memories, like,
Fucking
it's-
blows.
Yeah, it's like I feel like I want to love it, like I want to like it more. I really do, because it's actually like a pretty interesting game for the most part. But
The Riku part is the only part that I actually enjoy.
yeah,
And the last fight
yeah,
with Marluxia. Actually,
Yeah.
okay, no, sorry. The first fight with Marluxia. The second fight sucks ass in 3D.
yeah. But but again, just because of how it controls, it's so unbelievably bad.
It's
Like,
yeah.
it's almost borderline unplayable.
I have a soft spot in my heart for it because for two reasons. One, when it was first coming out, I was in high school. I might have been going into high school, so right after my 8th grade year. I can't remember. It's around that time period, and I didn't have a next gen console at the time, and I pre-ordered it through a game store that does exist but no longer exists in my area, called Play and Trade.
Wow.
And they're like independently owned little like franchise game stores, kind of like how Dutch Bros and some of those places do that. And I had friends that worked there, and every single day I would go up there and be like, "Hey, is my copy there yet? Is my copy here yet? Is my copy here yet?" And they was like, "Dude, just shut up."
You are
To be
you're
fair,
the customer
it
that
took
everybody hates.
several months. It took like 2
Jesus.
months, and the game was already out. I went to like Fred Meyer's and all these other places. They already had their copies. I saw them on shelves, and I was like, "Where's my copy?"
Wow.
And that's why I was asking.
Ah,
It wasn't like
that's fair enough.
it like I was watching the release date, It was already out. That's why I was frustrated. And two, the other reason that I really like have a soft spot in my heart for this game was because that was what gave me affiliate on Twitch.
It's fair enough.
You know, so it's really Kingdom Hearts as a series, but I was playing this and I was like, oh man, I really wish I had gotten to Kingdom Hearts 2 by the time I got affiliate.
That's fair. That's fair enough. All right, speaking of Kingdom Hearts 2, though, Kingdom Hearts 2.
Kingdom Hearts 2 Vanilla. I played the ever-living shit out of that one.
Yeah, I would also say Holy Grail. For me, it's Holy Grail.
It's the lowest tier of Holy Grail, I think, as of right now.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, lowest.
There are a couple others that are like.
Yeah, because I love 2. I remember 2 is probably one of the only Kingdom Hearts games that I have played multiple times.
I beat it 24 times.
I have.
When I was a kid.
When I played 2, because so for me, I'm a little biased because 2 was actually my first Kingdom Hearts game that I played. I had a friend actually. I had a friend who was like, he started playing Kingdom Hearts 1 and then he played Chain of Memories, and for the longest time he's like, dude, you gotta play Kingdom Hearts, like, it's so good. I'm like, nah man, that's Disney, that's pussy shit, like, I'm not gonna play any of that. And then I finally, like, I bit the bullet and I played 2, and 1, the cinematic blew me away, and then the cinematic, watching the cinematic itself,
and the song
made me want to play Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 1, just the cinematic alone.
If only that was worth it.
Yeah, if only it was worth it, because I was so disappointed. But yeah, like, and then I think that's why I'm so critical of Kingdom Hearts 1, because of the fact, like, there are so many changes in Kingdom Hearts 2 that just make it good. Like, it
so
controls really well. Like, I will admit that, like, the action commands are kind of annoying, because, like, near the end of the game, all you're basically doing is pressing triangle, but at the same time, like, they're so cool, and I'm like, I can't even be mad, because these are so, these transitions are so awesome.
I loved it. Like, yeah, if you spend too much time in a specific area, especially when you're a kid, and you don't understand all of the systems and functions of the game, like magic and forms, and the summons, you really are just pressing X and pressing triangle.
Yeah.
And you're getting through the game, circle. And it's fine. Like, yeah, occasionally you're jumping and pressing circle, and, you know, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, because as long as you're having fun, that's, you know, most people are just going to have fun doing that. And if you spend too long in one area, you are eventually just going to be doing the same thing over and over again, until you ramp up the difficulty, or you get to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, where things actually, or 2 Final Mix, where things actually ramp up a little bit.
Yeah.
But Kingdom Hearts 2 is really good, and yeah, it makes all the other games before it look like trash.
They all pale in comparison. Which is just like, oh god. It's sad, but at the same time, like, I feel like Kingdom Hearts 2 is what a sequel should be. A sequel 100% should outshine the previous games.
Every sequel should ever want to do that.
But then if you are playing the sequel, then it's like, oh man, I really want to play the other games. And obviously you, like, you're supposed to take it with a grain of salt, but even still, like, oh man, Kingdom Hearts 2 is like I feel like
it's such an upgrade.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that there's been
many games
that had that much of an upgrade.
Yeah.
The only one that I can even really think of is Mass Effect 2, which you don't really have context for because you haven't played the Mass Effect games.
Yeah.
But the way that I feel about Mass Effect 2 is about how I feel about Kingdom Hearts 2. Mm-hmm. It's such a big upgrade. It's really good. Kingdom Hearts 2 is amazing. I've beaten it more than I've beaten any game in my life. And yeah, it was the second game. Well, it was the third Kingdom Hearts game I played, but it was the second game I beat. When I was a kid, I rented Kingdom Hearts 1 from Blockbuster. I didn't get past
Blockbuster.
The
Blockbuster.
Deep Jungle. I couldn't get past that area because I couldn't navigate the vine section.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh, my God.
And then I beat Chain of Memories because I loved Kingdom Hearts, but my dad couldn't afford to get me the whole game.
Right.
So I had a Game Boy Advance, and he's like, here's a Kingdom Hearts game. And I was like, oh my God, this game is actually really good.
Yeah.
And I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's, oh my God.
That's how my friend, that's how they sold it for me. It's Kingdom Hearts, so it's Disney, but it's also Yu-Gi-Oh! At the same time. But I'm like, that makes literally no sense.
that game was so hard for me because I didn't understand how any of the mechanics worked. Mm-hmm. I got gated for a really long time because you go into Twilight Town in that game for the very first time. That's where you're introduced to Twilight Town, which is a really important world in the Kingdom Hearts series, especially leading into Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah. That's where you first fight Vexen. And my deck had ice. Had Blizzard in it.
That's a problem.
And I didn't understand that he was one.
Actual problem.
It took me a lot of tries to realize he's gaining health. That motherfucker. And I was like, I didn't understand what I was doing that was doing that. And I didn't know that he had a huge weakness to fire. You can almost one-shot him if you have decent fire cards. And so that gated me for a really, really, really long time. I didn't understand how the premium cards worked. I just stacked, like, really shitty summons. Like, I had a few decent Cloud cards, and I had a couple decent Simba cards. Simba, not that great in that game, and because of the way that movement worked, there's no, or at least as far as I remember, there's no dodge roll, or at least it's harder to use. Because you are only on a 2D plane, it's harder to dodge stuff. So you basically just break cards. And I didn't have zeros in my deck because I was a stupid 10-year-old or whatever I was. I mean, I didn't understand how the game
card
worked.
System is like really complicated.
It is.
It's like super simple, but it's also really complicated at the same time.
I didn't understand like how to effectively use slights. Like there was a whole bunch of issues. Like once you're have an actual understanding of the card system, which really doesn't take that long to understand, but just going in, it's going to take you a little bit. You have to do a little bit of research. There are a couple videos out there that show you, or if you just actively really pay attention to the tutorials, if you skip through them like I did when I was a kid, it's not going to make any sense. You're probably not going to have a good time. But if you really look at them and then kind of figure out what the slights are, when it gives you the option to, and you should always take those. You don't need health in that game. You really don't. You just need card points and you need slights because that just allows you to do so many new things. I know we were talking about Kingdom Hearts 2, but it's actually a good game, and I feel like not enough people give it the time of day. And if you're going to play it, play the Game Boy Advance version.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The 3D version is not as good.
Rechain is
anyway.
Bad. All right, anyways, moving on. All right, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix.
Final Mix Plus is the best game of all time.
I feel like you know what is the difference between these two, because I don't.
Yes.
So what is the difference between Vanilla and Final Mix?
More Keyblades, changes to Keyblades, more secret bosses, including the Lingering Will, who is the suit of armor for Terra.
Yep.
That leads into Birth by Sleep. The critical mode is a completely new addition.
The data
0
battles,
XP,
I believe.
The data battles. Dude, there's so much stuff.
All right. So it's basically two, but they add a bunch of shit to it, which I will also agree is also like. I mean, it's basically you just take two, which is already great, and then just add more to it.
Yeah.
And that's basically what Final Mix is. It's like it's the same game, just there's
so
just
good.
more shit in there. So it makes it so it's just more stuff to do, which is awesome.
And the best thing about it is that the stuff is so hard that like even on easier difficulties, they're still really hard to do. So like there is always a challenge in there for you, and I get that not a lot of people enjoy a game that you really have to beat your head against the wall.
I think it's a very versatile game. That like if you want to give yourself a challenge, it's there. You can do that. If you want to just be chill and like maybe it's a little bit too challenging, you want to chill out a little bit, you can do that as well. I feel like Final Mix is a very, very versatile game, and it has something for everybody.
Yeah,
and
totally.
You're not.
You can get through the entire game, the entire base game of beating the final boss, and you don't have to really learn anything. It also
you're not like gated for the most part.
For the most part. But if you really want to get into the end game stuff, get all the cool keyblades, get all of the synthesis weapons, get the crowns, and then beat all of like the data fights and the secret bosses, the other secret bosses, you actually do need to learn the rest of the mechanics. You need to learn like some of the better magic spells. You need to learn some of the really good forms, and you need to learn which bosses you can and can't exploit some specific keyblade with specific kind of magic.
It does a good job at kind of not...
It definitely doesn't teach you the right thing.
It gives you...
That's for sure.
Yeah, I will say that it does a very good job at supplying you with all the information that you need.
It supplies you with...
Supplying you with enough information to get started. Because obviously you have to do all the research, but I think it does a good enough job to give you the tools that you need.
The tools, yes.
And then just being like, okay, figure it out. It's like, okay, I can do this.
The one thing that I will say in that regard is you always have all the tools you need at any time. But in regards to certain data fights, like a lot of things weren't even people didn't even know for the longest time until speedrunning became really popular for that game, and then they found out, oh hey, Axel takes double damage or just increased damage from ice-based attacks. So then you put the Mysterious Abyss Keyblade on, which no one ever fucking uses because you get it from Atlantica.
Yeah.
You don't care about it, but it boosts your Blizzard abilities.
Yeah.
So then you just use that on the Data Axle, or the Larxene fight where she clones herself and she splits into like waves of her clones attacking you. You can stun her and then just nuke the shit out of her because she takes damage equal to the number of versions of her that are out on the field. Yeah. You can get rid of her in like 15 seconds, I think is like one of the fastest runs I've seen.
Yeah.
So it's like but you wouldn't just know that without having to do it unless you got really lucky and you're like, oh wow, I just saw that.
Again, it lends itself to you could experiment with stuff because it gives you all the tools, and it's like, and now it's up to you to play how you want / figure it out. Oh yeah, like, and there's an additional an additional form which just allows you to play the game in a completely different way, which is kind of a hybrid between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, because Kingdom Hearts 1 you are kind of more planted on the ground, or at least you're planted on the ground in a different way. I'm very curious as to what you specifically are going to rate these other games, because I feel like the more you talk about games is the more you love them, because us talking about Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories, you did not talk nearly as much about those that you did for this
there's
one.
There's not a whole lot. I don't have anything to say about Chain of Memories.
There's not like a whole lot, but even still, like, I'm like, as we get to the more in-depth, more in-depth games, I'm very curious as to like where. Well,
you also know that I've played a lot of.
That's true. You played a lot of 2, so you know like a lot about it anyway. So
I know a lot about it.
But I'm just like, man, I'm really curious as to like what does Hex have to say about the other games? Because I'm very, very curious.
I have
because I feel like we could dedicate a whole podcast to Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah. Oh, we absolutely.
Which I feel like is like again, it just showcases how good of a game it is.
It's so.
But we have
anyway
so many other games to get through.
Yes, we have a lot. We have all
right. 358 and a half days.
That's another holy grail, I think.
I would also agree.
And it's not necessarily visually it sucks. And that's not the game's fault.
It's bad.
It is a holy grail game that needs a remaster.
Yeah, I would agree. It needs a remaster so bad because it's so fucking good. It is one of the
best Kingdom Hearts games that most people either haven't played or won't play because it's on an old system and it looks like trash.
Yeah. And but the story's super captivating. The characters for it are actually like really, really interesting.
They're really good. There's multiple playable characters, which has only happened.
It has fucking multiplayer, which I always thought was so weird but so cool at the same time.
Right?
Like, it's such a cool concept.
It's so awesome. Yeah, that game doesn't deserve to be as good as it is, especially considering it's a DS game. And on the hardware that it had to work with, it plays really well.
Yeah.
It runs really well.
Yeah.
Like it is a 3D Kingdom Hearts game on a fucking D-pad because the circle pad didn't exist. You have 4 directions.
But it's still
it's not even an 8-way.
Controlled really well though.
It did.
Like it controlled super well, and like the what is it?
There was a wholly different enemy variety.
Like the slotting system for like your spells and your keyblades and your attacks was actually really, really unique.
Was interesting. It wasn't as good as later iterations.
Yeah. I will, but
were,
like I think it worked out.
Good
like it worked
step.
really well still.
Yeah, it did.
Like I would argue that like it.
I didn't like the Keyblade designs.
No,
but that's like the only thing that
but I feel like again that's because of it's on the DS and it's gonna look shitty.
Yeah,
I think if they remasters, I feel like those Keyblade designs would actually translate pretty okay. You may have to work a couple of them, but like even still, like I think it still worked very, very well.
Especially the joke Keyblades; those were great.
Yeah,
even if they sucked.
Yeah. All right.
There was a lot to do in that game.
Oh,
Birth by Sleep. Honestly, so Birth by Sleep and Birth by Sleep Final Mix. Almost no one has ever. If you've played it in English, you've never played the not Final Mix version. So I really don't have a lot to say about Birth by Sleep itself because I've never played it. That was a Japan exclusive, all things considered.
Yeah.
The American release was we got Final Mix. It just didn't say Final Mix. We got all of the upgrades. So I'll just put Birth by Sleep in regular Birth by Sleep in good, and Final Mix, the version that every American played, in great. And I rate it as highly as I do because and this is for the PSP version. It is really good on the PSP. It's really good.
It is very, very good
on an actual console system, which it was later released on. It doesn't feel nearly as good. Like playing it on the original hardware, you're like, hey, I understand why the limitations of this game are this way, and it feels really fun to play just on the go. Like I played that everywhere. I'm like, I get to play Kingdom Hearts on my fucking little PSP in class. That was so cool. And then taking that and like transferring it over to a console, it doesn't have the same feeling to it. It kind of feels clunkier because you're like, well, it should be able to do more because I'm on a console.
Yeah, but
even if it looks slightly
the
better,
controls don't directly translate to each other.
No, they don't.
So it is a little bit awkward. But I would also agree that Birth by Sleep on the PSP, I definitely played the shit out of that as well.
Played the shit out of it.
It was I thought, and I was worried about it too because on the PSP only has one thumbstick. It's also not even a good thumbstick. It's a really bad thumbstick as well. It's actually
know how there's like a little pad basically over it?
Yeah. It's like a
my
pad.
PSP didn't have that.
Yeah.
So I had the little nubbin that sticks out from it, and that's what I played it on.
Honestly, I would have preferred that.
I played like 30 hours of that game with a little nubbin.
Honestly, I would have preferred that because
it hurts.
But you're not missing out because the nubbin on the thumbstick, even though it's textured, the way the thumbstick works is that it doesn't tilt like a regular joystick. No. It slides. No. And then it has a spring that always retracts it back to center. But you would slide the thumbstick around, and honestly, I would have taken the nubbin because at that point, at least I would have had more purchase with my thumb on the nubbin than I did on the actual pad itself. Because my thumb would constantly
I think I definitely
slip.
had more control.
Yeah, I had to. I remember I would be like running someplace and like using the thumbstick, but I could feel my thumb slipping off the thumbstick because the spring is trying to take it back to center. And I remember like I remember trying to use my index finger to like finagle my thumb back on so I could get a grip again. It was so bad. It was not
it
fun
hurt
at
my
all.
thumb
Like,
so bad.
I would have easily taken. I would have just put a Band-Aid on your thumb. Problem solved. Put a Band-Aid. Put a Band-Aid on your thumb.
Pain,
Boom.
just screw
Done.
it.
Easy.
Keep playing video games.
Yeah.
I played that. I also beat
Hell, I would have
Crisis Core
wrapped
like
tape
that.
around it too. I would have wrapped tape around the nubbin as well. It just, yeah. I would agree that Birth by Sleep
Just extend
also
it so it's like
controlled
a
well.
gear shift.
Yeah. I think the having the different perspectives from Aquaterra and Ventus, very like super unique, really captivating.
Oh yeah.
It was really refreshing to like go to this. You're going to the same world, but they're all in different perspectives, so it's a different experience each time, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And then also Birth by Sleep has Aqua in it. Kind of really not much to argue against there.
She is so broken.
Oh yeah, 100%. She's
And Terra
super,
is
super
the
broken.
worst character to play in any Kingdom Hearts game, and I kind of love it. It's such a challenge run.
Mm-hmm. I also would admit that I really loved the Keyblades in Birth by Sleep.
I did too.
I thought it was really like, I don't know what it was about it, but it was just like seeing the like evolutions of everybody's Keyblade. I don't know why. I just thought it was so cool. Like it felt so good to like have an addition, like an evolved form of whatever their base Keyblade was, which I thought was really, really cool. And then I really loved the form shifts that they had. So like you would combo your moves, and then you would activate like a different, I guess, mode or form. Or something. I don't know what they're called or what they were specifically called.
Yeah, Aqua had like Spellweaver.
Yeah, those. Yeah. Terra had, I think, Rockbreaker or something like that.
Earthbreaker. But yeah.
Yeah, but I really loved that. Just that
those
idea
were cool.
of like combining
for
them
a little while.
For a little while, yeah. I definitely like. I remember.
I'm gonna send you a picture that I found on Twitter the other day in regards to Birth by Sleep.
Okay.
And it is exactly how I feel about that
in
game.
the link dump.
It's very good.
That's pretty much Birth by Sleep's son coming up picture.
Damn it, son of a Terra!
But
fucking
I will admit
up.
that like when I played Birth by Sleep, I went on there was probably like maybe a good 2-3 hours of me not even progressing in the game because I'm just trying to unlock all the different form shifts.
Oh yeah,
I'm
that's
just
what
trying
it was,
to figure out like what combos with what, and like the finisher tree.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Was it Blade Barrage?
I could not tell you at this point. I really
BBS
couldn't.
form.
I just know that like each character had their finishing trees is like insane, and it doesn't tell you like how to unlock anything, and I'm like, why?
That's what it was. Command styles. Everyone started with Critical Impact. Fever Pitch was awesome because that was Ven's, I think.
Yeah, that was Ventus's. Yeah.
Spellweaver, Firestorm, Diamond Dust, Thunderbolt, Rockbreaker, Dark Impulse. Dark Impulse was cool as shit.
Dark Impulse was so awesome.
Cyclone, I really don't remember using very much.
I think Cyclone was really hard to get. Because in the Cyclone you had to combo with Arrow, and Arrow in that game I think is a shield. I think.
Yeah, no. It's not. It's an AOE.
Oh.
Yeah. Because the shield Arrow as a shield was in Kingdom Hearts 1, and they're like, oh, this is really busted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ghost Drive, I never used.
Ghost Drive was also really hard to proc.
Yeah. Blade Charge is the one that I was thinking of. That one is so good.
Blade Charge
is insane.
For both Aqua and Terra, I think.
Everyone can get it.
Oh, is it everybody? I don't think I ever got it on Ventus.
Mm-hmm. I only used it on Ventus.
Yeah.
Sky Climber I never used.
I only got I got Ghost Drive maybe once or twice for Aqua.
I think I only got it once.
Yeah. Cuz you proc it from the Thunder one, and then it goes into Ghost Drive, or you can proc Blade Barrage instead, or Blade Charge. And I always got Blade Charge, and I was always so pissed because I wanted Ghost Drive again, because I was like, I'd never seen this one.
Then there's Frozen Fortune, which I never did because fuck that ice cream minigame.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then there's Rhythm Mixer, and I didn't want to play a rhythm game on the PSP.
Yeah, alright.
It's like, fuck that. Anyway.
Alright, moving on. Coded. I didn't play this.
Most people didn't play that. I just put it on the list. I'm gonna put that under Nomura Y.
Sure, yeah. I would
as
also...
well as Recoded.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I was like, I would also put Recoded as Nomura Y, because...
It doesn't need to exist. It did almost nothing to serve the story.
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna duplicate Recoded. I'm also gonna put it under Busted. Because... Actually,
I almost put Bugged.
I'll just put them. I'll just put it in between.
And I was like, "That's
them.
too stupid."
I'm gonna put Recoded in between because it's both,
okay.
And it's just like
it's so bad.
Oh, it's so bad.
There's no redeeming qualities, and I'm sorry.
The
like
story,
if people actually really like that game,
I wanted the story.
It's so unnecessary.
It's unnecessary,
Why?
And I wanted to care about the story. I really, really did. But like all the stuff that you do, as far as like going to the different worlds, quote unquote, just was so asinine and just ridiculous. Of like, why is this a problem? Why am I doing this?
Yeah, it's like, oh hey, Jiminy's Journal got like bugs in it. Okay, it's first of all, it's a journal.
Yeah.
Why do we need to fix it? Who gives a shit? Also, the journal was erased. Oh no, that's wait, yeah.
Yeah, because that's
the
start
journal
of
was
Kingdom Hearts
erased.
2.
No, that's the plot of Chain of Memories.
Well, yeah, but like it's
and
revealed
then
that
they're
the
like,
journal's
oh,
erased.
well, I guess we're gonna
Kingdom Hearts 2.
restart the fucking thing.
Yeah.
But then you just go back to Kingdom Hearts 1 again, which at that point I was like, I've had enough of Kingdom Hearts 1. I don't like this game.
Yeah.
Stop giving me Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora. I don't like it.
No one likes it.
I'm
No
sorry.
one liked it.
I don't like that design. I love Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora. He looks so much cooler.
Yeah! Kingdom Hearts 2
And
Sora
also
looks
having-
so much cooler!
Having older Haley Joel Osment's voice in young Sora sounds terrible.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
And that's another knock against Chain of Memories.
Another thing
Re-Chain
is
of
that
Memories.
it's not even Sora. It's fucking virtual Sora.
It's Data
So
Sora.
Data Sora.
Who-
This stupid data program.
And Data Roxas and Data Riku. Like, the only cool character was Riku, and then he didn't end up being real.
Yeah.
You're like,
Just
okay,
ridiculous.
this was stupid.
All right, 1.5.
And the platforming was only the kind of... I liked the one thing that I will give that game is that they weren't really mini games. There were just like different perspectives in the different worlds that you could do certain things in. Like there were different play styles. It wasn't all just a shitty platformer on the DS.
I literally have to look at what the UI looked like so I can remember how combat worked. Because I repressed this so much when I played it on stream.
I remember there were like 2D sections, and then there were like 2D platforming sections, kind of like a la Mario.
Yeah.
And then there were 3D platforming sections. Like, I actually kind of liked that, but the combat was terrible. I liked the shifts in perspective. That was it. I hated like the leveling up tree. It was really stupid. I never I either didn't play optimally or I didn't understand the like branching fucking tree that they had to do. It wasn't like a linear thing. It was you choose how you want to do it, but it's all of these like chips. Like you're in you have a motherboard or whatever.
Yeah,
and I hated it.
I just found an image. I'm gonna put it in the link dump because I remember
bad.
now. Oh, it's so bad.
Good.
It's so complicated, and it's just like why?
It just
because
and
you had like different modules, and you get that
that's a
you
fucking
like the different modules,
maze.
and it's like why are these here?
The stat matrix, and then there's that one at the top, which is like has the cardinal directions, and for like that activates certain thing.
Yep.
I don't have any idea. Like I have no idea what that was.
I got nothing.
It was really stupid.
I got nothing.
Let's never talk.
All right.
That's a fucking gear shift. That's a gear shift. I have nothing else to say.
All right,
it's stupid.
1.5. 1.5.
1.5. That falls under.
1.5 is what does it include? It's one
Final Mix HD.
Okay.
Chain of Memories HD.
Yep.
And 358 over 2 days the movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, fuck this game.
358 over 2 days the movie is the only really redeeming quality about the game. But it is the first time
because it's a fucking movie.
It loses points because it's a movie. It even dumbs down the story and all of the experiences that you have.
It also because it's a movie, it only includes the cutscenes. So like any in-game dialogue or any like exposition you get from in-game
where
cutscenes,
you really learn about the characters,
where you really learn anything,
with
is
Syx
not in there.
And Zigbar,
Yeah.
and Zald, like all of these characters that you have little one-off moments with, which like overall don't really mean anything to the grand story, but you're like, you get a little bit of insight into them, and also they interact with Roxas, which you never see.
Yeah, and it's
which
interesting,
is cool.
but you get none of that.
You get none of it.
And it's just like, why?
But you get to see them in HD for the first time. That's the only thing. It gets like a little bit of points for that. But Rechain of Memories in HD, no one gives a shit.
No one cares.
It didn't run well. There were issues with it.
It was just Rechain of Memories, but prettier.
But a little prettier, which is
that's
not a.
It. You didn't
don't
fix
need
anything.
that game to be
you
any
just
prettier.
made it prettier.
Yeah. And Final Mix. It's the first time it was ever released in the West. There were some issues with it.
Again,
actually, there was
prettier,
one good bug.
But
was it the Japanese only version? One version of Final Mix HD made Mushu really, really broken, and I actually think it's the Japanese version.
Probably.
So when you're fighting Chiranabog when you're in the end of the world, you just use Mushu, and he not instantly, but he like super nukes him, and I think it's the Japanese version. I could be wrong. I don't remember.
I don't know
but
that.
That game's underbusted.
Yeah.
It's not good because it was on the PS3.
All right.
It was a problem.
All right, moving on to 2.5.
Super busted.
So this is Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix. This is Kingdom Hearts
2 Final Mix
Kingdom
Plus.
Hearts 2. Okay.
Birth by Sleep Final Mix.
Oh, right.
And recoded the movie. So it automatically loses points because it's recoded the movie.
I would actually put this to meh, and I would actually say that recoded the movie is a redeeming quality, because then you don't have to play recoded.
No.
Like, I would rather take half the context of watching
the entire
recoded
movie of
than
358.
not play recoded.
I put the recoded movie on, and then I went and did something else. This is literally what I did. I was like, nope, I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Exactly. So I would, but I
didn't even watch it.
That's
not a redeeming quality.
No. Would you rather play recoded?
I would rather it just didn't exist.
No, you don't get that choice. You either play recoded or you're watching the movie. Which would you rather do?
I did one of them, and I didn't do the latter. I played the game, and I didn't watch the movie.
Okay, so would you rather play recoded again or watch the movie?
I would rather play the game. Because at least I'm actively
We are no
doing
longer
something.
friends.
I would rather play a game as opposed to watch a shitty movie about a shitty
is
game.
So bad. No.
I'm not saying that it's a good game.
I would.
It's a shitty story.
No.
At least you can play something.
No, fuck that.
Do you at least see where I'm coming from?
No, I don't.
Okay. Right.
No. We are on the opposite ends of the spectrum. I would much rather
agree to disagree.
Yeah, agree to disagree. I would much rather watch a shitty movie than have to play a shitty game with a shitty story. That's two shits that I don't want to take. If I had to choose between one or two shits, I'm taking one.
All right,
Dream Drop Distance.
3D. Ooh, yeah.
So this was the one on the DS.
I didn't like it on the DS. I was really excited for it when it came out.
I have to look
and
again.
Everyone and their mother.
UI about.
I mean, the UI was pretty much exactly the same.
I mean, it's just so that way I can remember how it played. That's kind of
once again, you didn't have a second joystick.
Yeah.
Because at the time that didn't exist. Although they did have an attachment that came out right at the exact same time, but nobody could find it.
With the touchscreen?
Yes, that is how you did the phase shift, or you switched to Riku. Or there was also the bubble launching stations.
Oh yeah, right.
You remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
vaguely.
That nobody ever used because they were stupid. Also the pets. And I think the map was on there too.
Yeah, and then you could play with the pets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the most part, it was superfluous. You really didn't need it.
Yeah, it's a meh for me.
It's definitely a meh.
Like,
I had more issues with the combat was fine.
Yeah.
The spells were actually super busted, and I loved them.
Yep.
But it was definitely an enlightening moment, or an enlightening game about how there was a big departure in the quality of the combat from 2 forward, because Birth by Sleep in every Kingdom Hearts game forward from 2 was handled by the Osaka team, which is not the same team that made Kingdom Hearts 2. I think they were the Tokyo team.
Okay.
I could be wrong. But a lot of people after that, like, there were just memes about, oh, hey, this is an Osaka game. And everybody was expecting Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be made by the main team. It's going to be so good. No other game after Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix was ever made by the original team. It was all made by the Osaka team. That's why all of the games feel different, and they have different mechanics.
Yeah.
Like, granted, one of the big reasons that Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance and the 358 have different mechanics is because they were on worse hardware. You know, they weren't able to do all the same things. And that gives them points for some reasons, because they had to, like, make sacrifices to be able to play the games a certain way. And that's why Birth by Sleep on the PSP gets points, but it on console does not.
Yeah.
And the 3DS version, it had the ability to handle, like, a shitty downgrade of Kingdom Hearts, and I didn't really care about the Dream Eater aspect. Like, you just grind out good Dream Eaters, and they just kind of do a little bit more damage for you.
It's fun. It's cute.
It's not even a good version of Pokemon. Like, it's not a fun collect-a-thon, you know? It's just irritating.
Yeah. I remember playing Dream Drop Distance, and I had to play it again, because when I played it the first time, I did not understand at all what anything was going on.
It makes no sense.
Like,
and Riku's the only thing you care about.
Yeah, I remember going through that game, and, like, it gets, like, the big reveal that, like, oh, Ansem has, I think, kidnapped Sora or something like that, or is, like, controlling Sora, because Sora is, like, part of Organization 13. Yeah. And
the big reveal
is
that for some reason, Sora is back in his Kingdom Hearts 1, like, young self, but he has a different outfit.
Yeah.
And he has this big old X on his chest, right?
Yeah.
Which no one thought was weird, but the X on his chest was
it's just the design. It's just
something
design
sigil.
choice.
It's
the key. Fuck. It's the key sigil.
Yes, but it had
for the Keyblade. The
Sora's
X-Keyblade.
DDD sigil. Recusant's sigil.
Sure. That's a word.
Yes, the recusant sigil it's it's a way to mark significant, like, persons, and every single Organization 13 member has the recusant sigil in their name. It's basically a way that they can track them.
Right, yeah.
It's not just, like, adding it to their name so that they become a different person.
Yeah.
The X, like, follows you.
Yeah.
But apparently that was done somehow in his sleep. But, like, where are they sleeping, for one, that Ansem is just able to go do that? Like, why are they not doing this in a safe place?
You explaining this plot to me, you can't see it, but I just copied Dream Drop Distance and I pasted it under Nomura Y.
It is definitely a Nomura Y.
This is, like, making my head hurt so bad now. I'm like, why? I'm already lost again.
And then you get to the end, like, you had a really shitty time playing as Sora because all you were doing was abusing. That's the word.
Yeah.
Abusing the flow motion.
Yeah, I was gonna say
commands.
it's like you're using flow motion.
You just bounce off a wall and you slam down. You bounce off a wall and you slam down. That's all you did.
100%.
Because it was super safe. Because once you get towards the end of the game, everything is a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex that can kill you in one shot.
Yep.
It's really annoying no matter what you do because there was no there was no once more, there was no second chance. There were issues with the game. They like took out old staples.
Yeah.
And it made it really hard.
Oh, also,
to play on harder difficulties.
Also, mechanic-wise, you have the fucking drop system. So, like, you only get to play as each character for, like, I don't even know, like, 10 minutes? Unless you had an item.
A limited amount of time. Unless you had an item, and then even then, like, there were certain gated points where you had to get kicked out anyway.
You get kicked out, yeah. Because I remember constantly I would switch over. I'd be playing as, like, either Riku or Sora, and then I'd switch over, and then immediately switch back, because I'm like, no, fuck that, I was doing stuff.
Sora had all the worst bosses.
Yep.
Pretty much every version of every boss is in the game twice, but they're slightly different.
Yeah.
Sora had all the worst ones. Except for Riku I think he had the one where the bird in Notre Dame is, like, in the air.
Oh,
that
yeah.
one sucked.
Yeah,
like, it was just not fun.
Right.
The dive system was kind of cool.
Some
of them were really frustrating.
Like, it was really interesting. It felt fun to, like, go into a different world.
It felt fun, and then you get, like, then you're like, oh, there's a Keyblade locked behind getting all of these at an A rank, and you're like, some of these suck ass.
I would do the dive mode over Gummy Ship personally.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Like, and
except
I'm
Kingdom Hearts
talking
2's Gummy Ships are better, but that's a whole other topic of conversation.
Still, it's still annoying. Like,
yeah, I don't like them.
Like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 Gummy Ship,
them.
I would still choose diving from Dream Drop over that. The Kingdom Hearts 3 Gummy Ship is fucking cool. But we'll get there. All right, let's move on.
The next one is actually
HD.
worse. Like, Dream Drop Distance HD, it's an HD version of the same game.
Yeah, I didn't play
it looks a little
one.
better, but I didn't want to play it. I beat it on PS4, and I was like, I hate this.
It came out on PS4?
Yes, because it was packaged in 2.8.
Oh, right. Okay, so I did play this. Again, I was still just lost. So I would still just put it in meh. I'm still fucking lost.
That one I'll put in meh over Nomura Y.
Yeah.
Because, like, it serves the same purpose, but at least it's prettier. There's no new additions. It's just a little prettier. It's like, whatever.
I'm like, all right, cool.
If you actually care about playing that game, like, I can't really think of any redeeming quality. There's one redeeming quality.
The one redeeming quality is...
Balloonra is amazing.
Balloonra is great. I would actually say the other redeeming quality for HD is the fact that it's on PS4.
Yeah.
So, like, at least you don't have to find
you have
DS.
all the games on one.
Yeah, they're all it's all together. It's like, all right, cool. Like, it's just better ease of access.
Yep.
All right, 1.5 and 2.5.
That will honestly put that in Holy Grail.
Okay, yeah, it's a package deal. Like, you get
it's the best. Like, it's the best version. As long as you're playing it on PC or PS4, it's the best version of the best games.
Yeah,
or best versions of the best games.
Yeah, I mean, it
includes some shittier stuff,
things.
but you don't have to play those.
Yeah.
You play Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, and you play Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and you play Birth by Sleep. You get Birth by Sleep, and it's just in there. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
and you get a really good movie.
Conveniently, it's just all packaged together. Like, it's real simple. You don't have to hunt games. It's like, all right, you want to play Kingdom Hearts? Boom. There you go, kid. Kingdom Hearts. Go play.
And it's 60 FPS.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, no. Wait, no. Did you say 1.5? Did we skip 2.5? Okay.
No, we did 2.5.
Did we skip 2.5?
No, we put 2.5 in meh.
Oh, yeah. No, it should have been in busted. 2.5 should have been in busted. Yes, because for some reason, I don't remember talking about this. There are really specific reasons it's kind of a problem. Kingdom Hearts 2 in 2.5 was absolutely broken. The drive system had a delay on it, so you had to pause buffer it, or Sora would stand still while he was loading into his drive, and enemies would continue to attack him.
Oh,
he was immune, but it was actually they would continue to move, and he was frozen. It was something to do with the RAM on the PS3. Huh. It couldn't load it correctly.
Oh, interesting.
And the same thing happened with Birth by Sleep with the command styles. Unfortunately, with the command styles, I don't believe you were actually immune, so you could actually still take damage. So it was an issue with the hardware, but it was it was a problem. And also the reaction commands for certain things, especially the final boss, the second form of Xemnas, his little
like his black and white,
his spiky things when he throws you up into the air, and then the only thing you can really do, you can attack him in some things, but mostly you just reflect, and then you use the reversal command on his like spiky things that come out.
Yep.
You cannot actively get through all of them. It's bugged, it's an issue, and you will just get hit, and sometimes you will just automatically die.
Okay.
It was an issue with the game itself. It goes in busted. It's the absolute worst version of Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, I can't remember. You might have had the issue. I had the issue.
I definitely
couldn't even beat the game.
I know for a fact I didn't have the issue because I didn't play it on PS3.
Okay, yeah. Never ever go play that game.
I never played this on PS3.
It was an issue. Don't ever play Kingdom Hearts 2.5 on PS3. It's bad.
Yeah, I never
don't
played
do
it on PS3.
It's also not in 60 FPS, so it's very bad.
All right.
Don't play that game.
All right, these next 1, 2, 3, 4, these next 5, I have literally no context for. I just know that they're the mobile game. I know nothing of these.
Okay, let's see. Kingdom Hearts Key. So that was actually the original browser version. It was ported over to the Android and iOS.
I know, again, I know nothing.
That it's really all the backstory. I'm gonna put Key in Nomura Y.
Sure. Dude, actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put all of these into Nomura Y.
Okay. Yes, that's fair. Because
I'm like,
they do
so
get
lost.
Really good, but the earlier ones, I think until Union Cross, I think is where it really got good.
Okay. That's the third one apparently.
It's not really a gacha game.
What's this one again? What's the second one? Unchained.
Yeah, so it's Key, Unchained Key, Union Cross. And Dark Road. Back cover. But that's the movie.
Okay.
Which is basically a 3D retelling.
Oh, is that the okay, that's the one in 2.8, right?
That's the one in 2.8. That one's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But it does still go under Nomura Y.
Yeah, it's actually
because it doesn't even
movie.
cover, it only covers like what happens in the first, I believe, in Key and Unchained Key.
Okay.
And then Union Cross and Dark Road are like what happens after that, and it explains like it's a really interesting story and it's really good, but don't play the game. Just there are a couple of people on YouTube that have made just cutscene versions of all of the story that you ever need to watch. Well, go watch those. It's really good. Unfortunately, Nomura and the team made a mobile game around it, and a lot of the really important cutscenes you can't get to unless you have like certain tiers, like of
you get gated.
The medals, which are the things that you. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get to some of that stuff if you really don't put a lot of time into it. So if you want to get a really good story, go watch the videos. It introduces a lot of really interesting characters. It explains a lot of shit. Like, it explains the origin of Ansem. Mm-hmm. Or, not Ansem,
Xemnas?
Master Xehanort. It explains where Brig, the guy who turns into Zigbar, who, like, a lot of the original Organization 13 members before they became nobodies, it tells you that Ventus is actually 100 years old, even though he's a 13-year-old kid.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of really cool stuff. So just don't play the games.
Yeah.
They're not nearly as good.
Okay, and then so that's the movie covers
basically the first
three.
half.
First half.
The first two. It really only covers the first two.
Okay.
And all back cover does is leave you with questions.
Yeah.
You're
but then
what the
but
fuck
that
is
does
going on?
Yeah, but that I feel like back cover is at least mildly interesting, and it also, like, sure, you have questions, but it at least answers a couple things. It answers like one or two things, and it's like, all right, sure, why not?
It answers questions that didn't. It creates questions. I don't think
Yeah.
it answers anything. It creates questions and answers them, but like prior to that, really the only thing that you ever cared about in Kingdom Hearts was, for the most part, Kingdom Hearts 1's story has almost no bearing on the overarching plot.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing that you need to know is that who Ansem was. And that is immediately addressed in Kingdom Hearts 2. So the Ansem that you knew is not actually the Ansem that you knew. He was a heartless version of a guy who stole a name, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
it's this big whole thing. And then Birth by Sleep is like, oh, hey, this is the original
Yep.
version of the guy that you thought was the guy, but it's not actually the guy, and then it's all this other stuff, right? And that's all you have the context for, is like the prequel to 1, the sequel to 1, and you're like, oh, it kind of, like, there's only a handful of dudes. And then fucking back cover comes out and it's like, no, it's this whole thing. You're like, there's this Keyblade War, which was only referenced like once. Dark Road is the origin of Xehanort. And basically Kingdom Hearts Key until Dark Road is about your player character. And it turns out, by the time you get to Dark Road, that the Keyblade War happens, and everybody, all the Keyblade wielders have this Chirithy, which is that, like, little floating cat guy.
Yep.
And if, by the end of the Keyblade War, the player characters, and all of the other Keyblade wielders, like, can choose to sacrifice themselves and I think go to Kingdom Hearts, or they can be reincarnated. When your player character is reincarnated, they become Xehanort. Your character is Xehanort. That is Dark Road.
Okay. Just okay.
Yep.
I don't have any other, I don't know what else to say other than just, okay.
You spent all this time and probably a shit ton of money to be like, all right, I'm the bad guy now.
Sure. Okay. Again, yeah, they all go under Nomura Y. I don't even know, I don't even know where else to put them on the list, to be completely honest.
But they're really cool.
Like, I don't know where. Okay, where would you put the rest of? Where would you put them? Other than Nomura Y, where would you put the rest of them?
You're talking about
all five
Backcover and Dark Road?
No, all 5 of them. All 5. Besides Nomura Y, where else are they going? Because
Key and Unchained Key, I'll put in. Just leave those in Nomura Y.
Okay.
Union Cross, Backcover, and Dark Road, you can all put in good.
Okay, sure. I'm there.
I'd even be willing to put Backcover in great, because I actually really enjoyed that movie.
It's a good
and it was
movie.
Like a fully,
I would say
it
that
looked really good, and it was fully voice acted. It was actually really good.
It doesn't
I'd be willing to put it in great.
I feel like Backcover, compared to the other movies, Backcover has enough information in it where you're not completely lost.
Yeah.
Because, like, with like, Recoded, or not Recoded, with, like, the Coded movie and 358 movie, like, sure, you can piece things together, but it does jump around a lot. Because you're not getting those in-game cutscenes.
Until you get the substantial cutscenes.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay.
Yeah, with Backcover...
And then we went to Peter Pan's world, and then we went to this world, and then we went to this world. Okay, and exposition dump.
Yeah, and then with Backcover, though,
really
it's like, things happen in a fairly coherent manner where
It's
you
actually
can,
paced.
it's paced.
Like
so
a
it's
movie.
you can follow along, and be like, okay, I understand for the most part what's happening.
Even
at
if it's
least.
confusing as fuck.
Even just in a vacuum, you understand what's happening.
Sort of.
Sort of. For the
You don't understand what's happening, but there is a story to try and follow.
Yeah. All right. 2.8, which 2.8 is
It's just garbage.
what's into. I don't even remember what's in 2.8.
2.8 has
I just remember that. I remember
3D or
getting it. It's like
Dream Drop
this is a
Distance
fucking
80
cash grab.
HD. It has 0.2, and it has back cover, which means an HD remake of a game that you only had to pay $40 for on the 3DS. A half-hour at most demo that was janky as shit, and back cover. Which, in all honesty, the only thing worth a damn was back cover. And it was not worth paying $60 for that.
Wow, is it really just those 3 games?
It's 2 games.
There's 2 games?
And
oh my god,
yeah,
really?
that was it.
Wow, that's actually trash.
Yeah, actual
It's
garbage.
actually so bad. Like, I would
Not
actually,
worth it at
I
all.
would defend Fragmentary Passage, because it's cool to have that sort of context of like what Aqua's doing in.
But you didn't need that because
You didn't
in
know.
fucking in Birth by Sleep Final Mix, there's the hidden episode, the Aqua
Yeah.
hidden episode.
Yeah.
You do all of that.
Oh, that's you're
Almost
right.
all of that.
You're right.
And it's so much better.
You're right. I've completely
Anyway.
forgot about that. You're right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it does.
You do. It's a little different.
It's like a little different.
There are
yeah.
some things.
There's some things,
but for the most part,
it's-
you don't care.
yeah.
It
Okay.
just shows you how Aqua like got to Mickey.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. Point 2. Birth by Sleep. Point 2. Fragmentary Passage.
Nomura Y and actual garbage. It didn't run well for most people.
Yeah.
Because that was at the time when the PS4 Pro was just coming out.
Yeah.
It didn't run at like even 45 frames on base PS4. Sometimes it even dipped below 30, I believe.
Oof.
And then on PS4 Pro, it was never at a stable 60. It was mostly at 50. It looked like shit. Like, because they were just using Unreal 4, I think. Or they were using Unreal 3, and they tried to make it look like Unreal 4. They had, like, the suit customization, which at the time would have given it points. But because they were like, oh, hey, we're going to test this out and see if people like it and put it in Kingdom Hearts 3. Since it was not in Kingdom Hearts 3, I am taking those points back for the customization. Because it's like, why did you give this to us? And, like, have us get all of these, like, achievements and stuff if you're like, yeah, we're going to use this in the future, if you were not actually going to use it in the future.
Yeah.
The story did nothing for me. I didn't care. It was not a fun experience.
I'll throw it to
I didn't
meh.
like it.
I had fun, but like,
The bosses were broken.
I shrug at it.
The critical mode was really bad.
Honestly, I'm gonna throw. Actually, no. My reasoning for throwing in a med. It has Aqua in it. That's it.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But it's a whole game of Aqua.
Yeah, it's a whole game of Aqua, and I'm like, sure, why not? Cool. All right, Kingdom Hearts 3.
I will put that in good.
I will also say I will put it in good. I want it to be better. I wanted it to be better. It's still good. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's a good game, but like,
If you took all of the shitty Disney Worlds out, I would put it in great.
wait,
Actually, no.
If I didn't have to rewatch
Hearts 3?
Frozen,
Right.
that's my biggest thing. If I didn't have to rewatch Frozen, I'd probably get
worse
more
version
points
of
from
Frozen.
me.
Which is weird because Frozen's already really bad. Kingdom Hearts 3 on PS4 is only good. Kingdom Hearts 3 on PC is great.
It is one of the only games that it's one of the very few games that I platinumed awkwardly.
I
Platinuming
didn't want to do
Platinuming
the
3 is not hard. It's actually really not difficult.
It's irritating because some of the dark crystals
Yeah.
you can only get them in one area.
Yeah.
It's really irritating.
But like for the most part it's pretty easy.
The paid critical mode and DLC
Yeah.
is a little frustrating.
Yeah.
But
And like
whatever.
or like what was it? In order to get Oathkeeper and Oblivion is also really frustrating.
Yeah, because it came out so much later.
Yeah.
Everybody had beaten the game and they had platinumed it, and it's like, all right, now go back and play it again.
Go back and do it, and it's like, what?
But what? Why? No. I don't want to do that. I already platinumed the
so,
game. Now you give me the two coolest Keyblades in the fucking series?
Also, this is a bit of a hot take. But Kingdom Hearts 3, the engine for it is what? Unreal, right?
For Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah. What's the engine?
Unreal 4.
Unreal 4?
Unreal 3?
Unreal 4.
Hearts 3.
Yeah, it's Unreal Engine 4. I actually don't like
it. It looks really bad. Okay, I liked what it looked like in the original trailer.
I don't even remember
the OG trailer where Sora is walking on the beach and he picks up Master Ericus's...
Oh, yeah.
It was just a prettier version of Kingdom Hearts 2. That's all it was. And then 3 came out and it's like, why does everybody look weird?
They
look like marshmallow
matte.
people.
Yeah, it's like really like soft and like matte.
Yeah,
it's
They
weird.
look like, I don't know. But you look at the trailer.
By the way,
from 2015,
so the trailer that you're talking about,
so much better.
I'll put it in the linked up. The trailer you're talking about came out 8 years ago. By the way.
Yeah, 2015 or
2013.
No, it was 2012.
2013, June 10th, 2013.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, I was out of high school.
So long ago.
Fucking cried.
Yeah,
I actually cried when I saw that.
So many people were so excited. It looked.
The other really stupid thing about that trailer?
What?
You never see Sora, 1, go back to Destiny Islands.
Nope.
And 2, he never has Master Ericus' sword.
Yeah, he does. He goes back to... Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. Not in game.
No, he doesn't.
But
He's fucking dead.
No.
He wasn't actually there.
No, you wait. You're talking about... You said Sora, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Technically speaking...
No. No.
Listen to me!
He was dead.
No, shut up! Listen to me.
I'm listening.
He technically goes back because when you rescue Aqua, they end up in Destiny Islands.
When he rescues Aqua,
yeah,
they're in the...
You are in Destiny... You're on Destiny Island. Because you have the whole cutscene of Aqua's like, when did Destiny Islands fall to darkness? And they're like, you're not in the realm of darkness anymore, bitch. So fuck you.
I guess I wasn't paying attention. I thought you were just in the... I thought that was in like the place between worlds or whatever it's called.
Like, I don't think you ever play in Destiny Island.
Oh no, it's called like, the space between or something.
Yeah, but like technically speaking, you in the cutscene, you save Aqua. And then you land in...
You're there. Yeah, you're there for like 3 seconds.
You're there, but you're still there. So fuck you.
Yeah. No. Okay. No. You're right. But the cutscene is very short.
Yes, the cutscene is very, very short. But you are there.
Okay. I will concede that point.
Fuck you.
I will say, and I cannot... If somebody bought Kingdom Hearts 3 and really didn't enjoy it, I can't recommend that they buy it again. But if you actually moderately enjoyed the game, or actually really enjoyed the game, get it on PC. You can mod the shit out of it. It gets really fun. Like you can first you can make Sora have drip. You can have him decked out in Supreme gear.
Okay, Sora, Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora looks like so bad. He looks so stupid.
Bad. I have a mod where he just looks like Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora. You can make... There's so many mods. Or yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2
I was
Sora.
like, there's no way you would do Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora. No way.
I actually made him look like he had limit form. There's actual full Roxas mods. There's full Kyrie mods. There's full Aqua mods. There's a Vanitas mod. And they actually function differently. There are some mods that make him a lot less floaty. And he plays more like Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff. Yeah. Like you can get custom Keyblades, you can get OG Keyblades.
I don't know.
It's the best way to play.
Going back to how it looks. So again, I don't like.
Everything looks like plastic.
I would agree. Everything looks like plastic. I honestly, this might be where the real hot take is. But if they made Kingdom Hearts 3 in the same engine as Kingdom Hearts 2, I honestly would not have been mad.
No, I wouldn't. I thought it would. I think it would have been better.
I thought it looked so much better in Kingdom Hearts 2, like the graphics Kingdom Hearts 2, and just like there was no reason to change it. There was no reason to change. I agree. There's literally no reason to change at all.
That's one of the things, and that's an issue with games going forward in general, is because just because a game looks like graphically better doesn't necessarily mean it will age as well.
Yeah.
Because I think Kingdom Hearts 2 and a lot of cel-shaded games and like kind of more cartoony 3D games look better over time. But the more realistic looking ones, especially when it was realistic in 2008, then you compare it to realistic now, it looks like shit. Yeah. I just recently went back and I played Resistance Fall of Man. And back in the day, that looked pretty good. Because it was an early HD game on the PS3. It was a first-person shooter. Like, it was okay. And now it looks so bad. Because it was early HD, and it's going for the realism. And we hadn't nailed it yet. But then you look at, like, Ratchet and Clank games, and those are more cartoony. It ages better. Even if the gameplay is, like, not great in those PS3 era games, it ages better.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't... It tries to go too heavily into that realism aspect, but it also kind of has this weird line where they didn't know what to do with the art direction.
Yeah.
And half of everything looks wet and slippery.
Yeah, they tried to... yeah.
I don't know why.
Look at all the Organization 13 codes look like they had just come out of like a rainstorm.
Yeah, but it's like leather? Like, what?
I feel like what they tried, like they try to make things more realistic, but then they were like, shit, there are cartoons in this game. Fuck.
Yeah.
And then they forgot. Alright, last one. Melody of Memories, or Memories of Melodies. I don't know what it
Memory
says.
of Melody.
Memory of Melodies. I have not played this. All I know is that it's a rhythm game.
I can't decide whether or not to put in. How much do we have in great and how much do we have in good?
We have.
This will literally just be
3.5 in great, and we have 5.5 in good. Final mix splits the difference between the two.
I'll put it in great then.
Sure. Okay.
Actually, put it in between great and good.
All right.
It's.
So Rhythm Kingdom Hearts
shit.
is all I got.
Hold on. Be right back.
Okay. While he's gone, I guess I'll just like read the synopsis. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna read the synopsis here. All right. So after Kingdom Hearts 3, Kairi enters deep sleep under Ansem the Wise's observation, creating a dream world for her memories of Sora to search for clues to his whereabouts within her own heart. Toward the end of the dream, Kairi confronts an illusion of Xehanort, who nearly overpowers her until Sora remotely takes control of her body and defeats him. That's weird. Before Kairi reawakens, Xehanort reminds her of the time in her childhood when he sent her away from Radiant Garden, during which he mentioned a world on the other side, quote-unquote. Kairi reports her findings to Ansem, who reasons the other side to mean a fictional world beyond their reality. Kairi is then approached by the fairy godmother, who sends her and Riku to the final world to meet the heart of a girl from the other reality. Riku explains his dream of a modern metropolis to the girl, who recognizes it as a city in her world called Quadratum, allowing Riku to open a portal to the other reality and begin his search for Sora, while Kairi remains behind to resume her Keyblade training. In a post-credit scene, Kairi decides to study under Aqua, while Yen Sid sends Donald and Goofy to inform the rest of their comrades of their progress, and Mickey to Scala at Kylum to investigate ancient Keyblade masters and how they may be connected to the other reality. Okay, so...
the story is really dumb.
Okay. It seems dumb.
But the gameplay is actually really fun.
I mean, it's a rhythm. It's a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game. Do you like Kingdom Hearts movie or music? Do you like rhythm games?
Do you like rhythm games?
Boo.
Well-designed rhythm games for a controller.
Yeah.
That isn't guitar. So sorry.
It's not
really
guitar.
Quick. I need to interject it with the Kingdom Hearts stuff. I forgot I was supposed to go to work.
Today?
Like 10 minutes ago.
What?
I'm training to be a manager, and I was supposed to go in to learn to count the till, and my one of my bosses waited at work for me, and he just called me and he's like, "Hey, are you coming in?" I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I totally forgot." He said it's cool.
So, okay,
It's
do you still have to go to work then?
no. It's training that only takes like at most an hour.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to get a bunch of more opportunities. And one, he's really cool about it. I apologized profusely. I honestly didn't think it was as late as it was. Oh god, I feel bad.
Oh my god, that's so awesome. That's so fucking amazing.
It's not one of those things where I was actually supposed to be there for like a several hour shift.
Oh my god.
So it's all
that's holy shit.
Fuck.
Right.
Anyway, the gameplay of Melody of Memory is really fun. I wish there were more songs. Hell, I would even pay for DLC songs. Because there were a lot of ones that got left out, and I'm really, really, really upset about it. But that's not really, I don't know. It's kind of points away from the game. I mean, but overall, it's
if they made DLC with more songs for Melody, you would buy it.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
there were some really good standout songs that didn't make it in, and I'm like,
yeah. So I mean, I'd say it's a plus and a minus, because I mean they've done other rhythm based games for Kingdom Hearts, and those have been kind of like from what I've seen.
Did they?
Well, not Kingdom Hearts specifically, but like they had Kingdom Hearts and like Final Fantasy crossover cameos stuff. Like there's a whole rhythm based Final Fantasy game that has
theater rhythm.
Yeah, theater rhythm.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot about that. The story is really dumb.
It seems dumb from what I've read.
It's really stupid, but you only get actual story. There's probably only like half an hour worth of cutscenes, maybe even less.
Yeah.
And then like at the end, Kairi goes 1-on-1 against Xehanort.
Right, yeah.
Master Xehanort in the end of the, or is it called the end of the world? Or no, the final world. Which you're like, how the fuck is Xehanort here? And in his like actual body, and she wins. And she collects the pieces of Sora's heart, which don't know why that was a thing. And then Riku shows up, and he's like, all right, I'm here now too. And the fairy godmother's there somehow.
No, they go back. No. They go back. Wait.
No, the fairy godmother is in the final world.
Yeah, reading this plot. Like,
and she knew about it the whole time.
Then approached by the fairy godmother, yeah.
And she knew about it the whole time. And they meet, like, one of the spirit people.
Yep.
But she doesn't have a physical form.
On the other side. And they're like, yeah, do you recognize this city place? And it's like, oh, yeah, that's Quadratum.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, but we don't know who the girl is.
I'm putting this in
and then Riku's like, all right, I'm going to turn you into a fucking portal. And she's like, yeah,
this is also Nomura Y. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
And then Riku's like, all right, stand back, bitch. I'm going to go to Tokyo. And then Kairi's like, but why? And he's like, because you suck.
It kind of reminds me...
Even though you just beat Master Xehanort, which is something that literally nobody else can do.
That meme, that Sailor Moon meme, where it's like Tuxedo Mask is like, and now, and like, my work here is done. And Sailor Moon's like, but you didn't do anything. And then he just leaves.
My work here is done. Literally, the whole game is Kairi... doing nothing until she somehow beats Xehanort, and then Riku shows up and he's like, I did all the work.
I did this.
Yeah, I trained her. That's yep.
Yeah, I mean from the in-game screenshots I see on Google Images, it looks fun actually. Like it is
really cool. And it can actually get pretty difficult.
Yeah, and it has music video for like versions of like songs, which is really cool.
It didn't run Unreal Engine 4,
Yeah, I've also
which I
noticed
actually
that.
am a really big fan of, and that the only reason it didn't run on Unreal Engine 4 is because they wanted to put it on the Switch.
Yeah, I noticed.
And
Yeah,
the
I
Switch
noticed
can't
that
run
it
that.
looks like that from what it looks like based on the screenshots, it looks like Kingdom
It's
Hearts
running
2.
the Kingdom Hearts 2 engine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which, honestly, is like, yeah, this is what
Why
I wanted
not?
in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yep.
Yeah, it
Except
looks
for the
great.
fact that they use Sora's Kingdom Hearts 1 outfit again.
Oh yeah, I see that.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, and then like, the
Oh.
cutscenes are Kingdom Hearts 3 style. Like,
And every
truly,
character,
like if the cinematics for Kingdom Hearts 3 engine, that's fine. But all in-game stuff should still be Kingdom Hearts 2.
you have teams, right?
Yeah,
And
teams
that's
of
like
3,
what, like, yeah.
what it
So
looks
there's
like.
your first team is Sora, Donald, Goofy from Kingdom Hearts 1.
Uh-huh.
The second team is the Days group, which is Shion, Roxas, and Axel.
Yep.
The third group is Dream Drop Distance, which is Riku and 2 Dream Eaters.
Fun.
Really stupid.
I mean, they kind of have. They don't really have
Oh,
much.
and
of a
then
choice
there's
there.
the Birth by Sleep team, which is Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. But it's
Right.
like, why Riku and Dream Eaters?
Wait, okay, hold on. So do you play as Kairi ever in this game?
No. Nope. Nope. She's just
What?
she just narrates. Actually, yeah, she literally narrates what
What?
happens in the games until she's like, "Oh, and then I died."
So you do
and
not-
then this is
so-
what happened while I was dead,
Wait,
and then
so
Sora
you don't-
died,
so
and
you
then
don't
I
play-
forgot about Sora.
So Kairi is not a playable character in this game.
She's basically reading back Jiminy's journal while you are playing the songs from the games.
But at no point do you get to play as her.
No, it's only a rhythm game, so there's no actual like combat. Really,
I'm moving this game down to between good and meh. This is ridiculous.
it's a really
This
good
is-
rhythm game.
This
Based
is
on that
so
alone,
fine.
I'm
putting it in good. It's gonna.
Okay.
I'm putting it in good.
And the songs are really good.
This is ridiculous. What you've just explained to me is ridiculous. It's pure nonsense.
You should play it.
I want to. I just need to get through my crit playthrough.
Don't get it on Switch.
First.
Stop getting games that are on PS4 and PC on
Oh my
Switch.
God.
Because you're just playing the inferior
Oh, I'm not
versions of them.
gonna play this on Switch for sure.
Yeah. Well, I just mean because you've done it several times.
Well, yeah, but that's
fucking Mortal
but that's-
Kombat 11.
Okay, all right.
Fucking
that was me being
The
naive.
World Ends With You.
That was me being naive. I got The World Ends With You because I don't think it came out on. It didn't come out on PS4. Thank you very much.
Yes, it did.
Neo
I played the
did.
demo. Oh no, I was talking about Neo.
No, yeah. I bought The World Ends With You on Switch because I love that game, and then it was hot garbage
Yeah.
on Switch. And then I bought Neo on Switch because I'm like, all right, I already have it. I have World Ends, the OG Worlds on Switch. I want to keep them together because I liked it like that.
But it actually runs worse.
I don't care. It's fun.
And it's not like there's achievements.
It's still fun though.
I mean, it's a good game, but you
Yeah.
could be having less frame issues,
Eh.
and it would run smoother.
Eh.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's whatever.
Oh, and apparently Kingdom Hearts 4 got leaked in an NVIDIA thing.
Neat. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, fun. All right.
And
well, that's
and where
this is. I guess this is the list. So this is the list we got. This is where we're at. Christ.
Hooray! God, that trailer is so good.
Which one?
The Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer.
Oh, the teaser of Sora picking up
How
the
does it only
Keyblade.
have?
The reveal
Nice.
trailer.
At the very beginning of the reveal trailer, it says director, Final Fantasy Versus 13. This is how old that
Wow.
trailer is.
Oh God. That hurts my
Son
soul.
of a bitch.
That
Yeah.
hurts my soul so much, actually.
What the fuck?
My soul weeps for what you've just told me.
E3 2017.
Right.
We are proud to announce that Kingdom Hearts 3 is still in development.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Alright, let me export this and I'll put our tier list in the link up so people can check it out. Speaking of reviews though, so a couple weeks ago, Hex, you had me watch Alien and Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you had me watch Alien Aliens, and I watched Alien actually with my girlfriend, because I guilt-tripped her into watching it with me, because I didn't want to watch it alone.
It's so good.
In which I would also agree, Alien, great movie.
That was
fantastic. I would, like, if I had to give it a rating out of 10, I'd give it a solid 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a solid 8 movie.
It's very slow.
Yeah, I actually don't think it was that slow. I thought it was actually paced very well.
It's paced well. It's a slow building movie.
Yeah, it's a slow burn.
But it earns its slowness.
It earns that. It pays off. I took notes, by the way, of
nice.
So that way I could talk about them on the podcast. My first note for Alien is John Hurt is in this movie.
Dude, so I was watching it last night and I was like, wait, Tom Skerritt's in this movie? I was like, I don't remember this.
Like, I was
John Hurt, Tom Skerritt, Ian Holmes, Siggy Weave, and other people that I don't remember.
Yeah, like, there's so many people. Like, I was like, oh, dude, John Hurt's in this movie. That's fucking dope.
Fucking
what the
Bilbo
hell?
Baggins, man.
I was actually so shocked.
The most depressing part of that is those guys were old back then.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that was made in 79?
Yeah, 79.
Jesus.
Which honestly, for like a late 70s, early 80s movie, looks fantastic.
It does.
Absolutely fantastic. Damien and I, we made the same comment. We made the same comment when we were watching Aliens. If they remade these movies, I would want them to just like don't change anything, just up the technology and the graphics just a little bit more, like modernize it.
I like the way that it's more of a personal thing, and I know a lot of people share this opinion, is the way that like that movie has dated itself. Because it was made in the 70s and it's like, this is what future tech is going to look like. And we know that obviously that's not what it looks like.
Yeah.
But if you look at it in the realm of like, let's assume that things did evolve this way, that we still have fucking not LCD monitor. What kind of TVs was that back in the day? Like composite TV, but there's a specific name for it.
CRV?
CRT TVs.
CRT, that's it.
CRT screens, yes. And like all of this analog shit, like there was no digital anything in that movie. Yeah. I just loved that aesthetic.
Yeah.
And there's
it's great. But like I would watch a movie that like just modernized the technology. Like if you
they did that.
But is it still the same movie though?
No, it's bad.
Exactly. See that's the thing. If they just modernize the technology and then just literally just film the same movie, I would watch it. I would love that. That
would be cool.
So my third note is I'm gonna put a picture in the link dump. These cups that are in this movie, I have those same cups in my kitchen. just without the design on them. The
Wayland-Yutani logo.
Yeah, which
is the company.
I have those exact same cups in my kitchen. They're
all
different
colors. That is a good tier list.
Which I thought was amazing because like I was watching this movie and I'm like, those cups look really familiar. And literally I had a cup of tea next to me on my desk and I reached to grab it and I looked at it and go, oh shit.
Which means that you have like 40-year-old cups.
Yeah. So that was another thing. I was like, that's fucking dope. We talked about this already. but it's a very slow build up. But I wrote that the scenes feel really slow, but they are very, very captivating. Like,
and they're tense.
Yeah, the build up is like it's
the atmosphere
there.
It's
great.
Awesome.
It's absolutely great. Fucking. So this is more of like stuff that's happening in the movie. But there's the part where they touch down on the ship, touch down on the planet, and the crew goes to like investigate the mystery signal. And you have, I believe his name is Weaver, I think is the character's name, who I think is the robot, which is revealed later on.
No, that is Ash.
That's Ash? Okay. I don't remember who Weaver is then. Oh, Weaver is the, hold on. I'm looking up, okay, not Sigourney Weaver, the character Weaver.
There is Arthur Dallas, that is the captain. Yep. There is Thomas Kane. There is Ellen Ripley, Ash, Joan Lambert, Dennis Parker, Samuel Brett, and Jones.
Shit. Okay. Then I think it's...
what did he look like?
Hold on. I'm trying to... Hold on. Give me a second.
Just... Here,
oh,
I'm
okay. No, I'm deciphering my notes. Okay, I understand. It's Ash. So...
Ash, okay.
Ash...
Ian Holm, Bilbo Baggins, robot guy.
Yeah. So he's like running Overwatch basically, and they get like a warning in the movie. They get like a warning. They decipher that because Ash like they decode the message with Mother, and Ash is like, oh, it looks like it's not an SOS. It's actually a warning signal, and
to stay away.
Yeah, to stay away. And Sigourney Weaver's about to tell them of like, oh, we should probably tell our search crew what it is. And Ash just goes, nah, we don't need to do that.
No.
And that my note is Sigourney Weaver is told not to warn exploration crew. Why? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Just like
because
and then
Ash knows.
Yeah, and then immediately my next note is by the time Ash's reasoning is they'll find out when they get there, and my next note is by the time they figure that out, wouldn't they be dead technically?
One of
or
them
theoretically
is essentially dead.
Yeah, and then one of them essentially dies. It's John Hurt. John Hurt essentially dies, and then fucking they bring him back, and Ash is like, Sigourney Weaver's like, we need to quarantine them, follow protocol, and Ash is like, no, we don't. And my next note is, fuck the guy in the control room, a.k.a. Ash.
Fuck Ash. Yep, that's pretty much the movie.
That was my next note, is just fuck Ash. Fuck him. Couldn't be bothered to warn the exploration crew, and that was the end of my notes.
He is such a good villain.
He's a great villain.
You really don't know that he's a villain.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
and then you
movie.
find out that he's a robot, and that was I thought was a great plot twist of like, oh shit, Ash is a fucking robot. Oh my god.
And like there's almost no indication of that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know who this guy is. Like everybody's everybody's like, hey, we don't really know this dude. And you're like, yeah, and he just like has an encyclopedic knowledge of all of this stuff. Yeah. But those aren't really hints. There's just like, hey, maybe this dude's more a part of the company.
Yeah.
You know, he's not as laid back, so he's like, I have to follow the rules. Like, how any newcomer would probably be in a crew that's, you know, used to hanging around with each other.
Yeah.
He's also the guy that is like, he doesn't have relaxed clothing or anything.
Yeah.
These aren't all necessarily signifiers that he would be a robot. He's just like an outcast in this group.
He's just a nerd.
And then, boom, gets ripped in half.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah. And he's got spaghetti on the inside.
Yep. Yeah. So I would say that Alien movie, great, freaking fantastic, absolutely loved it. Is it a movie I'd watch again? Not
I don't like watching a movie again.
But if I had people who are like, hey, I'm watching Alien, like, do you want to watch it? I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it. Like, because it was a great movie. I will admit that, so apparently I looked it up on IMDb, and Alien is, the genre for Alien is action sci-fi, in which I would Yeah. I was like,
It's-
I thought that's
it's
weird.
a horror sci-fi
I would
movie.
say, I would actually classify it more thriller than horror.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like I would say thriller than horror, but that's just for me. That's personally just my definition between the two. Like thriller, it's like with horror, you're like constantly on edge and you're always waiting to be scared. With thriller, it's more of like you're not always expecting to be scared, but you do get startled occasionally. Like you're not always in a state of fear. Versus horror movies, typically you're always just like, oh god, what's happening? Like what's gonna happen? But thriller is like, oh, this is really interesting, and then the jump scare happens like, oh, that startled me. Let's keep watching.
Yeah, right.
like, so that's where I'm at. But again, like, great Alien, great movie, awesome. This is another thing that this is something that I said about the second movie, but it also applies to the first movie. I really liked, how clever the movie was in hiding the alien.
Yeah.
I really
do you know why
liked-
that was?
Why?
The suit looked like shit.
Ah.
And it was like really cumbersome.
Yeah, it looks cumbersome. Yeah.
They didn't have a big budget. So they're like, we're going to obscure this thing as much as
Yeah.
possible because it's just a dude in a suit and it doesn't move great.
Yeah,
But
I really
it adds to the tension.
Yeah, and I really liked just how clever they were in like putting the alien in the scene. And you just kind of wonder where it is, and then you see it move. You're like, oh shit,
Uh-oh.
which I thought was very, very impressive.
Yeah.
So it was like super great. All right, so Alien 8 out of 10. I'd even chalk it up to like 8.5.
Such a good movie.
Aliens, the sequel, so Aliens. Also, again, probably same rating. I'd even put it up to 9.
Dude, it's so
the one,
good.
So the one that you had me watch was the
Director's cut? Extended cut?
extended edition or
Yeah.
whatever. The Alien movie I think was the director's cut. The first one was
Yes.
the director's cut. This one was the I forget what it's actually called. Special edition, that's it.
Yeah, Aliens Special
Yeah,
Edition.
you had me watch the special edition, in which I would say the special edition gets a 9 out of me. 8.5 or 9, probably like one of the like kind of there. If I were to, and then the original Aliens movie probably a 7, and it's because of the special edition. I actually really appreciated the extra scenes that they put in.
With her and Newt.
With her and Newt, and like just the sentry guns in the hallway.
Yeah.
Like it's such a small thing, but it gives so much context that like it's like actually so awesome. Like it gives enough context to be like, because like I feel like with the whole turret scene like sequence, I guess if that was not in the movie, I know for a fact that I would have watched. If that wasn't in the movie, I know for a fact I would have been like, where the fuck are those turrets that they mentioned earlier? Like, why are they not doing anything with the turrets? And then seeing them actually use the turrets and like they're out of ammo now, and I'm like, that makes sense. That checks out. Like I get it now.
It's one of those things where like studios are like, oh, this is superfluous. Yeah.
Yeah,
English is definitely
is
my
hard.
first language, I swear.
words are hard.
But it's like you jump like people do notice that. They do
Yeah.
get with like you think that you can just go through it like even if it takes like 5 seconds to establish something and then you go through it and you don't do it, you're like
Yeah.
how though?
So okay.
It that's important.
So I also took notes on this movie as well, and I watched this with my girlfriend and one of my close friends, and the moment the movie started, and we're talking about it, and once they get to the scene with all the Marines in it, like they're on their way to investigate, my first note is Bishop is great. Who is the sergeant?
Bishop is the best.
And it was actually really funny because, like, literally, he raises up, and we're like, oh, that dude's black. He's dying first. And then he puts the cigar in his mouth, and I'm like, never mind. This dude's fucking amazing. I hope he lives.
This dude
like
lives
it was such a quick 180. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's so badass.
Oh god, this movie had
I might have to,
Michelle Rodriguez.
I have to look up. I have to look at the characters again because I think I have Bishop and the Sergeant mixed up.
Bishop is Lance Henriksen. He is the robot.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Bishop the robot is great. I was expecting him to be like Ash though in the first movie, so I was like waiting for him to betray.
You're talking, the Sergeant is Al.
But my next note is the Sarge is great, aka Sergeant Johnson from Halo.
Yes,
that was my next
note. He
note.
totally is.
Yeah, and then my third note is this movie gives me major Halo vibes.
Pretty much.
Like literally, I will say that I really loved watching Halo the movie.
Halo without Master Chief.
Like, because that's basically what I watched. In which I found out later that Halo took a lot of inspiration from the Aliens movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Sergeant Johnson is literally based off of the Sergeant in Aliens. A lot of, like, the Covenant's design is based off the alien.
Mm-hmm.
My fourth note is fuck all the Marines. All
Bill
the Marine
Paxton
soldiers,
and Michael
fuck
Biehn
them.
are awesome.
Yeah.
Hicks and Hudson are great.
Yeah.
But all the other ones
are just
die.
awful.
I thought,
I don't know what this one... I can't read my handwriting on this one. It just says fuck and then a name, and I don't know who it is. It starts with a B, though.
Burke.
Yeah, Burke.
Carter. Oh, yeah, Burke.
It's Burke.
Burke can go die in a fire.
Yeah, it's Burke. I was, like, looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, that's Burke.
I was like, it's not Bishop, because Bishop's awesome.
Fuck Burke.
Yeah, Burke can go die in a fire. Hey, no, we have to bring the alien back. Did you ever see the 2000 Godzilla movie?
No.
In it, I think there's like a character who's like, no, we have to bring back... No. Better example. Did you ever see the Lost World Jurassic Park?
No.
God, I hate you so much. In a lot of these like sci-fi movies where there's like alien life or dinosaurs, they're always like, no, we have to bring a sample back. And that's like the guy who's like trying to...
Profit.
Like, yeah, it's like, no, stuff it. You're gonna get everybody killed. Yeah. Guess what? He gets everybody fucking killed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, Burke can fuck off. All the Marines, except for... except for Hudson and... Actually, really
Dietrich,
just
the girl with the big-ass minigun, she was cool as fuck.
Vasquez? Jeanette Goldstein?
Oh, yeah. No, her. I was also thinking of Dietrich, but she died.
Yeah, she died.
I mean, they all died, but still, doesn't matter.
They both died. I'm trying to see if there are any other... Yeah, I think the only Marine I really liked was the Sergeant and frickin' Hudson.
Hicks? Oh,
no,
Hudson.
No, Hicks. Sorry, Hicks.
Yeah.
Because Hicks is the quote-unquote love interest. Hudson's the unnerved guy that's always panicking and can't do his job.
Yeah, but he's awesome. He's Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton died.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like you're not really supposed to like him, but he's one of the more memorable dudes. He's the game over.
He's the game over. I was like waiting for it too. I was like watching the movie.
You're like,
and I'm like, where is it? Where is it? And then he goes, game over, man. I'm like, there it is. There's Mr. Aliens himself.
Aliens is a very different movie than the original.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which is, like, it's... I'm glad that you like Aliens more, because I was worried that you would, like... Because a lot of people I know are like, whoa, this is a departure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because it doesn't have that really slow build that the other one does. Yeah. Like, eventually, it just turns into an action movie.
Yeah,
and you're like, but it's so good.
I think the nice thing about it is that, like... And this happened while we were watching it, was literally one of us would ask a question, and immediately that question got answered.
Right.
Like, we'd be like, where's the ship?
Oh, okay.
The ship blew up. Oh, what about the other ship? We can't access the other ship. I'm like, well, why not? It's like, because it has to, we can't do remote control. Like, well, why can't we do that? It's like, we have to do this. And it's just like, each time we asked a question, it immediately got answered. And I'm like, honestly, this movie's covering all of its bases. They get it.
There's another reason for that as well, because this movie was directed by James Cameron. Do you know who James Cameron is?
I know who James Cameron is.
Okay. It explains why this movie is so good.
Yeah.
Which, I hate Avatar, but I love James Cameron. Fucking hate Avatar. It's the worst Pocahontas remake ever.
You're not wrong. All right. My next note is I don't remember what scene this is. All I wrote down is Ripley is a mood.
Ripley is
in which Ripley, it's like, I think all the time you see Ripley, she literally can't be bothered for anything. Like, she's just here and she's like, I mean,
do you blame her? She's like, okay,
like, you can't blame her.
I woke up,
but like,
it's 57 years later,
your
my whole family's dead. I just want to get this little girl out of here, and they're forcing me to fight aliens. Not only is it something that almost killed me once, now there's a bajillion of them.
Yeah. And then my next note is the lieutenant is stupid. So Lieutenant Gorman, William Hope, he's dumb and just completely useless. Because like there are multiple times where like when they first drop into the planet, the one soldier asks him how many drops have you done? He's like, simulated 68, practical 2, this being the second. And I'm like, I already know you're not going to be a useful person in this entire operation. You're
the highest ranking person here, and I hate you.
Yeah. And like everything he did, I'm just like, how did you get your position? Just how did you get here? I don't understand.
Well, he's a lieutenant, which means he's actually a CO, and everybody below him is an NCO, so he didn't have to do jack shit. And they all have actual practical experience.
Yeah. Because
they are grunts and he is not.
Yeah. And it's just like, I was so mad about it, honestly. I was actually so pissed. That's
always how it works, man.
Yeah.
They always treat the COs, unless they're like general. Well, the generals are almost always like these dudes who are lifers. And they're like, no, I won't listen to anybody's opinion than my own. And then it's like the private who actually has the good idea.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but whatever. Yeah. And then like the lower ranked COs are like always treated like the dumbasses.
Yeah. I think I've told the story on the podcast beforehand. But one of my teachers in high school, he's a history teacher. He was in the Army, and one of his favorite stories is, I guess, apparently in military culture. Anyone who earns the Medal of Honor, so the Medal of Honor is like one of the highest kind of accolades you can get in the military, I guess.
Medal of Honor and Purple Heart are like the two.
Yeah. Well, Purple Heart is like, I guess in the military, the Purple Heart is like cool, like it's respectable. Don't get me wrong, it's respectable, but at the same time, it's like it's a very low bar of respectable. Like everybody gets the Purple Heart.
Yeah.
But I mean that's not to like diminish the fact, but it's like, okay, cool.
No, it's not hard necessarily to earn a Purple Heart.
Yeah.
A lot of the time though, it's like when it's really meaningful, it's awarded posthumously.
Yeah. Exactly. But so I guess the Medal of Honor is one of the highest accolades that you can get though. And he would always tell us that I guess one of his buddies, who was a private at the time, got the Medal of Honor. And what they would always do was, at any sort of like big military event or gathering, they would station that private outside the doors, or the entrance basically of the event, because I guess in military culture, if you see anyone with the Medal of Honor, you have to salute them regardless of their rank. And so they'd have this private with the lowest rank in the military, and you would just see like generals, sergeants, lieutenants, all these big high-ranking officials coming up to this private and having to salute them and then walking into the event. And I guess that was like cool. One of the most, it was really cool, but it's also really funny because
No, it is.
because
It's like,
they're forced to do it.
You all bow to me,
It's like you have to bow down to
bitches.
and it's just like, wow, that's hilarious and awful at the same time. My next note, again, I also don't know.
Holy
I think this is
shit.
when they're exploring the egg facility, or the hatchery, the nursery.
Where the queen is?
Yeah, where the queen is. And this is when they first get in contact with the alien. My next note is, what is communication? Because I remember what this is about. It's
What are you talking
it's
about?
when Ripley and Burke are talking about, like, they can't use any all the guns use like explosive ammo, but they can't use the explosive ammo or else they'll explode because they're in like the reactor basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the lieutenant tells the sergeant, you need to collect all the explosive ammo from everybody because it's a risk. And I'm like, what? But then the sergeant's like, why do we do that? And lieutenant's like, don't ask questions, just collect all the ammo. And I'm like, why don't you just explain to him that if you use any of the explosive ammo, you'll die?
Yeah,
like, what is the point of withholding that information?
It doesn't do anything but really benefit you, and then that's gonna give people a reason to be like, all right, I'm gonna hold on to a couple
and because then the fucking two minigun people they fucking smuggle in explosive ammo,
and then they blow themselves.
and it's just like, you could have just said that you were gonna die if you did it. It would have easily stopped anyone from having an attitude.
I don't know.
Like, it's so ridiculous. I'm like,
because
why
they're
the
Marines
hell?
and they don't play by the rules.
And it was so dumb. I was so angry. And then my next note is, this is when they encountered the alien and the whole platoon dies. They did the Sarge dirty. I wanted him to die in so much more of a badass fashion. I was so let down and upset by it. Like, oh my god, I was so pissed. Like, the sergeant was literally my favorite character, and then he dies in the stupidest way, and I'm like, this is depressing, and I hate this. I'm so upset by it. The next note is, so, like I said, Bishop is great, and Burke can go fuck himself. Great acting from both of them. Frickin', what's his name? Lance Henriksen and Paul Reiser, phenomenal acting. Freaking Bishop, like the way
awesome.
the way that he portrays Bishop is so good. Like, it's so awesome. And then Burke's character is just, he's a villain, quote unquote villain, that you love to hate, like, truly.
Oh yeah,
like, he does such a great way of such a great villain in portrayal.
Cast.
Like, it's such a good character of, like, God, like, he's so scummy and slimy and you fucking hate him, and then it's like, God, it's so good. And then my last note is, they did Bishop dirty from splitting him in half and having him be stabbed by the queen alien. I was like, dude, what the fuck, man? That's fucked up.
But he's not dead.
But he's not dead. No, he did live, and he saved
He saved a Newt, and then he ended up saving.
Yeah.
No, actually, he didn't.
No,
he didn't save Ripley.
But he makes the comment of, like, not bad for a human, and I'm like, Bishop, my man, Bishop, man, dude.
Well, and the best thing about Bishop is, like, the whole movie, you are suspicious of Bishop.
Yeah, you're on edge the entire time.
Because after the last movie, and then it ends up he's the best dude in the fucking movie. He's, like, literally
the best character, and it's like, dude! Hell yeah. I was so, like, the entire movie, I was so ready for his surprising yet inevitable betrayal, and then it never came, and I'm like, dude, Bishop, man, bro.
Curse your... Wait, hold on.
Like, wait, hold on. Wait a second. The entire time I waited for his surprising yet inevitable betrayal, and then at the end I was like, oh, I'm just racist. Cool. That was what I got out of that.
I just feel bad.
Now I feel bad because I'm slightly racist.
Way to make me feel like an asshole. Here I am assuming that the robot's a bad guy. So good.
Exactly. So Aliens, fantastic movies. I completely understand.
The dumb mech fight is great.
So funny.
It's
that's
really
that's
funny
again
to
that's
watch.
exactly why like I would love a movie that's exactly like this, just up the technology a little bit. Just up the tech just a tiny bit to modernize it. Just give it that modern feel to it. And I'm like, man, this would be a phenomenal movie. But overall, I completely understand why these are so popular. Like,
yes,
after finishing them, I was like, I totally get it. Like,
there are some of the best
no-brainer of it have
sci-fi
so
movies.
Good. Yeah,
at least like that actually occur in space. And some sort of alien life.
yeah.
Like they're great. I think these are better like space movies than Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh, I would agree. It does such a good job
because they're actually like based in realism.
Yeah, basing them in real, like being them super realistic, but then also just having them be just like, I don't know, like the pacing is just so good. You're never like when it, you are wondering stuff occasionally. But for like every time you're wondering stuff, it's for a good reason. And then every time you're like asking a question, they almost immediately answer the question, which is so awesome.
Yeah, they really don't leave you with many questions, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Which sucks because the later movies create more questions and then shit all over them. And like in the first movie, that is when they discover the pilot that had the thing blown out of him, and that's like the only question that is never answered between those two movies, and they try to answer them later, and the movies are not nearly as good.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks that the later movies kind of just shit on the first two. Yeah. Like, I cannot recommend to anyone to watch Alien 3 or Alien Resurrection. Prometheus is okay, and Alien Covenant is really bad.
After finishing Aliens, I was like, man, I hope I finished Aliens and I'm like, man, I can't wait to watch the third Alien and watch it all go down the drain. And have it literally all be trash. And then I don't even have to watch the movie. Literally looking at the poster just it confirmed everything for me. Because you know what the tagline for the poster for Alien 3 is?
What is it?
3 times the suspense, 3 times the danger, 3 times the terror.
Do you want a summary of Alien 3?
Sure.
Okay. So Alien 3. Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. Oh god, it's so dumb. Okay,
so bad.
Alien 3. They're all in hypersleep again.
Yep.
Just like the last movie.
Yep.
Hicks and Newt die off screen. They're dead. Apparently Hicks had been implanted with a chest burster, so he died.
Wow.
While he was in the pod.
Wow.
And Ripley wakes up and she lands on a prison planet with a bunch of like murderers and rapists, and it's all guys because it's a whole planet of like bald
cool
criminals.
Wow.
And she shaves her head because she becomes one of that. Like, I don't know why she is here. Like, it makes no sense. There's a dog, and the alien plants the dog. So it's like there's a new version of it. It's quadrupedal, and it runs really fast, and it's a really dumb movie, and it had like 4 different scripts and like 3 directors, and it's really bad. And there's only one good character, and it's Charles Dance. Okay. I don't know if you know who that is. Trying to think. Did you ever watch Game of Thrones?
No, but I do know who this person is. I recognize it.
Okay, Charles Dance is an amazing British actor.
Yeah.
He needs more roles because holy shit, he's so good, and he's like the only good character in this.
I'm looking through his like filmography. I'm trying to. I know I've seen him in stuff before, and I just can't think of what it is.
Myself, I can't.
Let's see.
I really have not watched much of this. I don't think I've seen a single movie. Oh, I was going to watch Imitation Game.
Is he?
I think I've seen shows with him in it.
I think that's also. I think I've seen shows with him with him.
And he's done some voice work.
Yeah. GoldenEye. I'm trying to see. I have an idea of what he's in, but I want to make sure I'm right before I say anything.
So Bright. He's in. Oh, he's in a lot of stuff.
He's in Game of Thrones, sure. Let's see here.
Wait. Oh, he's gonna be in the Sandman series. Cool.
Huh, neat.
He was in The Witcher. He was in Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Awesome.
I know him from The Witcher. Anyway, don't watch Alien 3. It just shits all over Alien 2. And the director is David Fincher, who is a very, 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 very famous director. Mm-hmm. This was his first movie directing.
Oh, good.
Ever.
Great.
He ended up directing The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. He directed The Social Network.
Social Network was good. That's a good movie.
He directed Fight Club. He directed Zodiac, Gone Girl, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He directed a lot of really and Seven.
Fight Club's okay. I've never seen Fight Club, but I've heard Fight Club's a good movie.
Yeah, he every movie after Alien. There's no reason anybody should have ever given him a chance directing another movie because Alien 3 was so bad. That wasn't his fault, but it's so. Like, the rest of his resume is so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait. Seven is a... No, wait. Okay, that's not the movie that I'm thinking of. Never mind.
Seven is... Yeah, it's a crime drama based on the Seven Deadly Sins. And it's also famous.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking Lucky Number 11, which you've never seen that movie. That's a great movie.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like... It's really hard for me to, like, describe it because describing it gives away so much.
Okay.
Lucky Number
Bruce
11.
Willis, Lucy Liu, Josh Hartnett,
Morgan Freeman's in it.
Stanley Tucci, Ben Kingsley. Jesus.
Yeah, there's like a lot of there's like a lot of people in this movie, and there's like really famous people in this movie. But it's a movie that a friend of mine had me watch when I was in college, and again, describing the movie reveals so much about it. So, like, all I can just say is just watch it. It's like, oh, this is a trip.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Josh Hartnett in anything in a really long time. Anyway. Yeah, so, also, the only reason that Sigourney Weaver decided she wanted to be done with Alien, right? After Aliens. And they were like, no, we want you to come back. She's like, okay. The only way I'm coming back is if you kill my character. So at the end, Ripley dies.
Yep. But then I feel like didn't she come back?
She comes back for Alien Resurrection. And then she dies again. In almost the same way.
So dumb.
And it's
so stupid.
Yep.
So unnecessary.
Oh, yeah. At the end of Alien 3, she going to she jumps into the furnace, or into a giant furnace, and as she's falling, a chest burster pops out of her chest. So you're like, okay, she double dies.
She
She has a huge hole in her chest,
She's
and she
literally about to
jumped
be
into basically
incinerated.
incinerated. And she grabbed onto the thing, right?
Yeah.
So it like there's not going to be like a Ripley alien running around. No, like she's dead. In the fourth one, there's a clone.
Of course there is.
They cloned Ripley.
Of course they did.
Because for some reason we were doing that at the time.
Yeah, that there was time for that to happen somewhere.
That was before Attack of the Clones even came out.
Yeah. There was a time at some point to do that, sure.
And then Prometheus is the next movie after that. That one is actually kind of worth watching. It's interesting. And initially, when you first start watching it, you're like, this has nothing to do with Alien. And it's really confusing. Until the very end, you're like, oh, okay. That was weird.
Oh, okay.
I can't really describe it for you. It's worth a watch.
Yeah, also directed by Ridley Scott,
once.
both of them. So
it is also directed by Ridley Scott. It's paced pretty well, and the score is really good, and it looks really pretty. And the thing that you were asking about in like modernizing the technology a little bit, it's there. Michael Fassbender does a really good job. The acting is pretty on point for the most part.
Idris Elba's in this movie?
Idris Elba is in
What?
Prometheus?
Yeah.
I don't remember his character.
He's the captain.
He probably dies really quick. Though.
He's the captain of the Prometheus. So, well, that's just what the Wikipedia says. It's like, oh, interesting.
Nubian Republic. Yeah, that like, oh, Charlize Theron's in this movie. Okay, this movie's got a really, 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 really good cast. I need to watch this again. I only watched it the one time. And then Alien Covenant happened, and I was like super stoked for it. I'm like, all right, another Ridley Scott movie.
Yep.
It's actually Alien. Michael Fassbender's back. It has Danny McBride in it. It has James Franco in it. His performance is on fire. Haha. It's funny
is he on fire?
Because he dies because he's incinerated in his sleep.
He's not even. He's actually not even in the movie. In the cast list.
No, he's not. he's literally not. Like, they show a small clip of his character being set on fire.
Jesus.
And that is James Franco's character.
What the fuck?
And that's all it is. And he's the captain of the fucking ship. And so everybody wakes up and they're like, oh, okay. Anyway.
Neat. That was weird.
And the alien is completely CGI and it looks really bad. And the whole, like, creation of the xenomorph is really, 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 really stupid. And I think that's where the show me the real whatever thing is from. It's either this or it's Prometheus. I can't remember which one.
Okay.
That's the only reason to watch Alien Covenant is for that one meme.
Just for the meme?
It's just for the meme.
Literally for the meme.
Because every other, like, Alien Covenant is really bad. It's paced really poorly. The sound direction isn't nearly as good. The cast isn't nearly as good. Prometheus is actually... It's worth a watch. So if you were going to continue any Alien stuff, just watch Prometheus, and it's essentially a decent prequel to Alien 1.
Okay.
Or, yeah, Alien 1. That is the only other thing that I can recommend that you watch. If you really liked Alien and Aliens, watch Prometheus.
Okay.
It has Idris Elba in it.
Yeah.
And one of Michael Fassbender's best roles, outside of Magneto.
Right.
I think it's better than Magneto.
Okay. All right. Well, I think on that note, I think that is a perfectly good place for us to stop for this episode of the C+ podcast. And so, everyone who is watching, once again, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. Unfortunately, due to some internet issues, this is just gonna go up next week. So, or well, you're watching it now because you're watching it now, and that's how time works. But we will see you back here. Yeah, we'll see you. We will see you live the following week, because that's when we will film the next episode of the C+ podcast and all that jazz. So that's exciting. But as always, though, my name is Shogun Shin. That is Hex Ginkgo. This has been the C+ podcast. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.